Hi, this is Miss Bacon, and here's my lecture for Chapter 7. It's all about Excel, which is one of the programs in Microsoft Office. So I wanted to open up Microsoft Office. I have the 2016 version, so that's what we'll be going off of. And in all of your Microsoft programs, the File tab is pretty similar, but I wanted to just show you all the available templates in Microsoft Excel. So there's lots of beautiful templates that we can use to create from. It's kind of nice. They have all of these calendars. Like if I wanted to go and pick a calendar, looks like my computer's a little bit slow, but you can see it in the background. There's that calendar there that I can open up and use as needed. So that's what I think is sort of the best thing about Microsoft Office is all of the templates that you have when you look at new under the File tab. So if I go back to Excel and just the home page, I'm going to start there and go over all of the commands. You can see we have these clipboard group of commands that are similar across Word and PowerPoint. So from here, I can cut and paste and copy and paste as needed. And then if we look at the font group of commands, I can do a lot of things to my text. I can make my text bold. I can make it italic. I can underline it and change the font and change the size. Here I can grow it and shrink it. I can make it a different font color. I can fill my cell in Excel with a color. I can put a table around each cell. So just know with Excel, you're dealing with usually lots of math that you're putting into an Excel spreadsheet. And you're inputting it and then usually maybe using formulas and creating charts and graphs to evaluate that data and, be able to present it to others as a way to understand that data. So it's very mathematical in nature. And because of that, you'll notice that in Excel, it has a very grid-like table format. So this cell right here, let's see if I highlight it, you can see there's a box around this cell. It's called a cell. And the name of the cell is D4, where the column and the row intersect. So this is D4, and you can see that it's D4 right here. So wherever I click, like this is I5. And in I5, we have a value of 231. So that's kind of how the Excel spreadsheet works. You can use your mouse and highlight a bunch of data if you need to. I can also highlight the entire spreadsheet like that by clicking on that triangle up there in the corner. And that's just about a little bit how the spreadsheet is organized. It's very mathematical in nature. You input numbers. You can apply formulas to your numbers, create charts and graphs to explain your numbers. And that's sort of the utility of Excel. So moving on, you can see here with our data, I can align it different ways. I can put it on the left, I can center it, I can put it on the right, I can space it. I can do wrap text, which is nice. So if you have textual information, instead of having like a long cell, you can put words underneath each other so that your cell isn't so long. So that's what's meant by the wrap text. And With our numbers, we can present them in very different ways. You know, I can present them looking like having a dollar sign or a percentage, or maybe just with a decimal point. So here is the number or the dollar sign. Here's a percent. Here is just with the decimal point. You can increase that decimal point or decrease it. And there's lots of customization you can do with your numbers to make them accurate within Excel. There's lots of different styles we can apply to our data. We also, with our cells, we can, delete our cells or insert cells. So here, if I were to do right click, I could delete an entire column. Just got rid of it. I can undo and get that column back. I could also delete entire row. It's kind of crazy. Or I could just delete this one cell. You just click on it and just click delete. So if you click on a cell and you do right click, there's lots of functions that you can take advantage of. Or you can just press delete to delete a cell. And here they have some formulas that are very common to use in Excel, such as summation, where you're just adding things, averaging things, finding the max value, the minimum value. We can fill the document. We can clear it out. We can sort it alphabetically. Find and select. It's kind of like find and replace, which we learned from Microsoft Word. So it's a little bit about the Home tab. So if we move on to the Insert tab, we can make tables in our document pivot. We can insert pictures from our computer, pictures from the internet, shapes. I'll give you a little visual. All those different shapes you can insert into your Excel spreadsheet. You can insert SmartArt into your spreadsheet. Screenshots, we can go online and add more. We can turn our data into a chart. This is really helpful right in here. There's also line charts, column charts. We have win-loss sparkline. We can filter our data, link our data to some kind of external hyperlink on the internet. We can add a text box to our spreadsheet, as well as headers and footers, equations and symbols. So there's lots of things. We can pretty much insert anything into our spreadsheet. If I go to the page layout, I can change the theme of my... Ooh, that looks kind of ugly. I think I'll go back. But I can change the theme of my spreadsheet. I can change the color, the font, the effects, the orientation of it. So we can have portrait, or I can make it kind of long, like a, it would be, what do they call it? The landscape. I can print a certain area. So if you wanted to just print a certain area, you just kind of highlight it. You highlight the area you want to print. But usually when you print, your printer will print the entire spreadsheet that you've created. Or you can just highlight a particular subset of that area and print that out. And you can do breaks and whatnot. I can scale to fit my prints. That's really helpful because sometimes your Excel spreadsheet, it's like too wide. So you can scale it down so it comes out all on one page. It'll be tiny, but still much more presentable and manageable. So that's a good thing to scale it down when you want to print it out. Okay, so moving on, let's go to the Formulas tab. So like I said before, Excel is very mathematical in nature. So here is where we can insert all of those formulas to manipulate our data. It's really great. And just to let you see how we can do that, let's say, for example, I wanted to add these two numbers here, that 12,276 plus that 1,275. I could put here, create a little formula, and you always start formulas with an equal sign. So I could say this cell, which is H4, plus this cell, which is really H5. Let's put H5 equals that. And we have here our result, 13,551. So that's just an example of how you create a formula in Excel. You start off with that equal sign, and then you can create your formula, or you can pick it from the formula library. And they have other mathematical tools that I don't really use. I don't think you'll use it that much either. If we look next at our Data tab, I don't really use this tab that much, but I think, you know, you can sort your data alphabetically from Z to A or A to Z. That's kind of nice. There's data tools. I think for forecasting, that's more if you're doing statistics to kind of anticipate trends in data, what you expect to happen in the next year from your data today, for example. So that's more with statistics. And then you can even make your data be put into an outline format with this set of commands. And we have the Review tab. I can check the spelling, the grammar of my data. I can look up for alternative words. I can translate my data to different languages, add comments to it. I can protect my Excel spreadsheet and my workbook. Another thing that's kind of nice too, like I have here, this is a spreadsheet on this page, right? But I can open up another spreadsheet within the same document. So it's nice you have these tabs, you know, you can have multiple spreadsheets within one document. It's a nice little thing by just clicking on that little plus sign. And moving on, if I go to the View tab, right, I can view my spreadsheet in different ways. I can show or hide things. I can zoom in and zoom out. Macros are nice. They're just like little commands that you create to input data. They're kind of like shortcut keys. And then if we look at the Design tab, there's more design tools at our disposal and styles to play with. So that is a little bit about the Excel spreadsheet. So just remember with Excel, I used Excel in college in my biology classes to do research reports. I would create tables in Excel, and then I would cut those tables and put them into my Microsoft Word documents. And then it was nice too with the tables, I was able to, you know, manipulate the data and then transfer it to the Word document. So I think that's how you might use it if you use it in the future. But it's very mathematical in nature. You input data, you can manipulate it, and then present it visually in graphs and charts.